Guys, it's great. And look at that. Look at all the bubbles on the top. It's like I'm having a soda. This is awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey guys, back up from Pat here. Guys, look what I got this weekend. I was in South Florida for the weekend, and a friend of mine, thank you, Seal, gave me a boatload of tamarind. Guys, I love tamarind. There's so many ways to eat tamarind. You can eat them fresh, you can eat them as tamarind balls, or you can make tamarind juice. In today's video, guys, I already set aside the ones I'm going to eat fresh, but we're going to make some tamarind juice. It's going to be my very first time, but we're going to make it together and I'll tell you how it tastes. So guys, let's get started. So the very first thing we're going to do is take the tamarind out of the shell, and let me show you how you do that. So tamarind is a tropical fruit. I know it grows across in different islands, the Caribbean islands, also grows in India, and can be used to, some people in India use it to cook as in dishes. In Jamaica, we basically make drinks out of it, or just eat it fresh, or make one of our favorite desserts, which is called tamarind balls, where you roll it, the tamarind flesh, with sugar in order to make the tamarind balls. So today we're gonna make tamarind drink. So what we have to do first is I'm gonna go through and take all the shells off. Some of them aren't good. You see, if you peel it off and you see like this, has that green fuzz, so that one is no good. I'm gonna dump that. So I'm gonna take the shells off, put them in this bowl. Then we're gonna add warm water to separate the tamarind flesh from the pulp. So let me show you what it looks like first. All right. So this is the part that we like to eat. We suck the pulp off the seed. Let me do that. Show you what it looks like. Mm. These tamarind are definitely on the sour side, but not too sour. Still delicious. After you suck off the flesh, this is what the seed looks like. This seed can be planted. I probably won't plant a seed. Tamarind tree can get really big here. Plus, if I'm gonna plant a tamarind, I probably want a sweet tamarind. All right, so all these, I have to go through all these now, take the pulp off with the seed, and then we're gonna separate the seeds. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll come right back. All right, so here we have all the tamarind after it's been cleaned up. There were quite a bit of bad ones. Like this one, if you see a tamarind with a little bit of green in it, that's perfectly fine. That's just a tamarind that hasn't fully ripened. I can either eat it or I can put it in a bowl, and I think I'll just eat it. And I also had some that had like some worm damage. So if you see any little like poop, little tiny poop, or any little tunnels in the tamarind, dump it. And of course, if you see any of that white mold, dump it. So quite a few of them I ended up dumping, but as you can see, I still have quite a bit of tamarind to make my tamarind juice. So the next step, we're gonna pour on some warm to hot water over the tamarind. We're gonna make sure it's completely submerged. And what that's gonna do, that's gonna loosen up the flesh and the pulp that's on the tamarind to make the next step easier. So I already have some water in a kettle that had boiled earlier, and it's cooled off a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour it on. I'm not measuring the water, I'm just making sure the tamarind is submerged. You want to make sure you don't use too much water that the tamarind doesn't taste strong, but enough to cover the tamarind. So let's do that. Once you pour on the warm water and make sure it's completely submerged, you're going to cover it over with a clean kitchen towel, and I'll see you in the morning for the next step. All right, it's the next morning. Let's check and see how the tamarind looks. Hopefully by now the pulp will start to separate. Just getting some gloves on here because I'm probably gonna have to go in with my hands also. All right. Ooh, okay. So you can see a big difference in the tamarind. Definitely, they're very soft. So the pulp is already separated, and that was just by soaking it overnight. Started off with hot water and just let it soak. So what I see various methods that people do online. Some people they actually go in and mash it up by hand. Some people pour it through the strainer and just keep going with more additional hot water to get all the pulp out. I think I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna put it because the tamarind seeds are rock hard. I'm not too worried about the seeds pulverizing. I'm just gonna put it on a gentle pulse in my Ninja blender. Just try and separate the seeds from the pulp, and then we'll go ahead and pass it through my strainer, and we'll see where we go from there. So let's do that. All right, so that's like 3/4 way up. So I'm gonna gently pulse now. Let's see how this looks. Okay. It's just too thick. So I probably needed more water, but I'm just dumping it back into here and I'm just gonna use my hands and try and separate it. Then I'm gonna make sure I don't lose any of this nice pulp. So I'm just gonna use water and separate the seeds and keep going using the strainer. Mm, that tamarind smell is so good. So good. Oh my goodness. All right, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pour some into this jug, into this it's like a measuring cup, and then I'm gonna use that measuring cup to pour it to the strainer and into the big jug. So it's gonna start off thick at first, but I'm gonna add more water. Just using my hands and working it. Probably should do a small amount at a time. My first time, guys. Oh my gosh, it smells so wonderful. And guys, I know it looks a little bit gross, but it smells so incredibly wonderful. Definitely a little messy, guys, but hopefully it'll be worth it all. Um, I already dumped one bunch of seeds, and I think I have this well separated. So for me, this potato masher works the best to separate the seeds. Just add in small amounts of water because, as I said, I want the flavor nice and rich. You can always add water, but if you add too much water, you can't remove it. So that's it. All right, so I'm gonna do the last pour. It's been a little bit messy, as you see. A little bit at a time. Wow, guys, that was messy, but I got quite a bit of juice so far. And this is the last of the pulp. I just added some water to it. And I'm going to add this one little piece of ginger just to give that a little kick. And I'm going to blend this up and we'll be right back and I'll show you the end results. All right, guys, this is all that's left of the pulp. So I did a really good job getting rid of the pulp. Of course, the seeds were separate. This was an extra step for me, guys. I mean, most people just put everything in here and just strain it out, but I wanted to get as much as possible out of it. So here's what the texture looks like right now. It's still very thick, so I could literally water this down. You guys add whatever sweetener you want. You can have it plain with just the tamarind and water, how I have it blended here, or you can add a little bit of sweetener or whatever sweetener is your preference. I just added a little bit of sugar to this, and I know some people say, hey, that's defeat the purpose of the anti-inflammatory, but you know, my family has to drink this, so I add a little sweetener. Tamarind has a really unique and a delicious flavor. It can be very sour, but I personally don't mind the sour. But you know, I want to offer this to guests that I have as well as to my family. So guys, I'm gonna show you a little tip. My mom is 96 years old, and she told me a little tip that she used to use as a child. Whenever she made tamarind drink, she'd add a little pinch of baking soda to it, mix it, and it will become almost like a soda. So I'm not gonna do it to the whole jug. I'm just gonna do it to the glass that I'm gonna drink. So let me pour a little bit out, trying to balance with one hand. First, I'm gonna taste it without the baking soda. You can see this is what the texture looks like. If there was more space in the jug, I would add more water to it. And as it goes on, I'll add more water to make it a lighter texture. But this is what it looks like right now. Mm. And it's really, really like perfect with a little bit of sugar I added. So add sugar to your taste. It doesn't have to be super sweet. The sugar that I added was just enough to take some of the tang off, but it's absolutely delicious. So let me try my mom's trick. Taking a little, she said just a little tip, not half a teaspoon, just a little tip. Hold on. She said just a little tip. So that looks like a tip. This is a like a teaspoon, and I just literally added a tip. So it's probably less than a quarter teaspoon. She said stir it, stir it, stir it. Guys, I've never done this before. She just told me how to do it on the phone. And my friend Seal, who gave me the the tamarind, she also told me her sister used to do this. Let's see. I don't know if it's supposed to start bubbling. Wow, guys, look at this. You can actually see it fizzing up. Wow. So that little baking soda trick worked. Wow. Wow, just beat it, and then you can see the bubbles on the top. Wow. Wow, so I just made myself some tamarind soda. Be sure that you don't use too much, but it looks like what I did was good. All right, so let's see what the tamarind soda tastes like, guys. Wow, guys, it's great. And look at that. Look at all the bubbles on the top. It's like I'm having a soda. This is awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys, so showed you how to make tamarind drink and tamarind soda. Wow, delicious. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up, drop a comment below. Let me know if you've tried tamarind drink before, and let me know if you've ever made tamarind soda. This is absolutely wonderful, guys. Look at that. It's like you're drinking a soda and you have all the foam on top. Delicious. The only thing I would do different, I may add some more water to this as it goes down, so it's really a soda texture. Anyway, guys, till next time, bye now. Gotta go enjoy my soda, my tamarind soda.